All right, let's jump right in. When we think about history, our minds usually go straight to kings and castles, right? Swords, conquests, the usual stuff. But this story, this one's different. It's about a kind of power that wasn't defined by what was taken, but by what was given away.
And this quote, it just nails it. It perfectly sets the stage for the legend of Mansa Musa. We're talking about a guy whose legacy wasn't forged on some bloody battlefield. Nah, it was built on an idea that would send ripples all across the world.
So who was this guy? Well, his name was Mansa Musa. They called him the Lion of Mali. And he was the emperor of a kingdom so ridiculously wealthy. I mean, it's hard to even wrap your head around it, even with today's billionaires.
And the scale of this wealth? It's just staggering. Think about this. Half of all the gold in the old world came from his one empire. That's insane. But here's the thing about Mansa Musa. He knew that gold just sitting in a vault is, well, just cold, heavy metal. For it to mean something, to become legendary, it needed a real purpose. And that purpose? It came into focus in 1324. That's when he set off on his legendary pilgrimage to Mecca. But honestly, calling it a journey just doesn't cut it. No way. This was basically a city on the move. A shimmering golden serpent winding its way across the vast Sahara Desert.
Just let this number sink in for a second. 60,000 people. That is a modern football stadium, completely full, marching together through one of the most brutal environments on the planet.
And get this, among that massive crowd, 12,000 personal servants. Every single one of them decked out in fine silks, just there to take care of the emperor and his court. This wasn't just showing off his money. This was a massive statement of incredible organization and pure power. And the centerpiece of this whole incredible expedition? 30,000 pounds of pure gold, just loaded up on 100 camels. And this wasn't for trading. Nope. This was a moving treasury, and it was all meant for one thing: charity. Okay, so their first big stop is Cairo. Now, at the time, Cairo is a huge, bustling hub of world trade. But when Mansa Musa rolls in, he isn't there with an army to conquer the city. He's there to conquer it in a completely different way, with overwhelming generosity. I mean, just try to picture it. The emperor of Mali, literally just tossing handfuls of gold into the streets for anyone to grab. The merchants, the regular folks in Cairo, they had never ever seen anything like this. This wasn't business. It was a flood, a complete downpour of charity on a scale they couldn't even imagine. But an act like that, it has consequences, real dramatic economic consequences. He gave away so much gold that he literally flooded the market. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine if someone suddenly started handing out free diamonds on every street corner. Pretty soon diamonds wouldn't feel so valuable, would they? Well, that's exactly what Musa did with gold, but on a city-wide scale. And you can see it right here. The value just completely tanked. And this wasn't a quick fix either. The ripple effects were huge. It took the entire region's economy 12 years to fully recover, all from this one single incredible act of giving. But, and this is where the story takes a really interesting turn, Mansa Musa's greatest gift to the world, it wasn't actually the gold he left scattered across places like Cairo. No, his most important gift was the knowledge and the talent he brought back home. See, on his way back, he used his fame and fortune to recruit the smartest people he could find, the best scholars, architects, poets, you name it. He brought them all back to Mali and put them to work. And what they built transformed Timbuktu into a world-class center for learning. And this was all happening while a lot of Europe was still stuck in the Dark Ages.
He founded these incredible libraries and universities, like the famous University of Sankore. And pretty soon, scholars from all over the world were flocking there to study everything from mathematics and law to astronomy. Timbuktu truly became this shining beacon of knowledge for the whole world.
And this right here is the heart of his story. It's about two totally different ways of looking at wealth. You had European kings who saw gold as something you hoard in a vault, something you use to fund wars and conquer people. But Mansa Musa, he saw it as a tool, something that should flow, that should be circulated to lift people up, and, this is the big one, to build a lasting legacy of knowledge.
So what's the big takeaway? What was the long-term impact of this unbelievable journey? Well, for one, it completely changed how the world, especially Europe, saw Africa. It put the Mali Empire, quite literally, on the map.
I mean, check this out. This is actually how European mapmakers started drawing him. The story of his wealth was just so mind-blowing that it changed their entire perception. Suddenly, Africa wasn't some distant, unknown place anymore. It was a land of unbelievable riches, a place to be envied.
And in the end, that's really the lesson of Mansa Musa's life, isn't it? The gold he handed out, that's all long gone. The economic chaos it caused, that's just a footnote in history books. But the universities he built, the culture of learning he created, that legacy, that's forever.
So it leaves us with a question. Was he just the richest man in history? Or was he something more? The greatest example of what it means to have wealth with a real purpose. Maybe he's a reminder that true value isn't about what you have, but what you build for others. What do you think?